Okay, so again, for people who will eventually be listening to this recording or stream, this is the backup Emacs Hangout while we're waiting for the Emacs conference thing to get online. Hang on a second, let me post this here and over there. Okay, all right. I've posted to the 2 event pages, and probably on Twitter as well is a good idea.
Yes, this backup video feed should be very interesting if it's just us two.
Okay. Okay, all right. Things have been posted on Twitter. I do have the right URLs, right? Okay, all right. So at least with you, I know that other people can join this, which is exciting. Okay. Actually, Howard, if you want to go ahead and give your presentation here, then it's automatically going to be part of the recording, and I can fish it out of the recording and post it as a separate video as well if you want to. Plus, I can, I don't know, ask questions along the way. Oh, wait, no, they're calling. Hang on a second. Hey, hello, what's up? Oh, no worries. Okay, so, okay. Sure. Okay, so I will tell people to hang out and wait since the real life conference is still setting up, and then you'll join the Emacs conference Emacs conf channel in IRC when you've got more things sorted out, right? Okay, awesome. See you soon. No worries. Yeah. Anyway, the backup plan has been engaged. Gotcha. Okay. Alrighty. So the scoop is that that they're running late in person. So things happen. And Sufyan couldn't answer earlier because he was on a motorcycle, so maybe lots of traffic. But they will be on shortly. Well, not shortly, but once they've got things sorted out, I will keep an eye on the Emacs Conf channel, and then we can get on with the proper show.
Herding cats at its finest.
That's okay. Really, my one wish for today was just to have a bunch of people get together and talk Emacs in whatever form that is. I mean, the original plan really is just, to have an extended Emacs hangout. So the fact that there's like actually a schedule and stuff and people are getting together is icing on the cake.
Exactly. In fact, an extended hangout, if it was a little more planned like this in general, might be just fine.
That's actually an interesting idea. Someone else in the Emacs channel suggested maybe kind of blending elements of the Emacs chat and the Emacs hangout together, since it is nice to have, an advanced talk digging deep into the details of something. But on the flip side, I don't currently have the brain space to A, schedule a lot of things, and B, kind of just make sure that entire hour sounds interesting. However, having lots of people around asking questions would be amazing.
Yeah, it would. Yeah, well, maybe that's what we try next month. Once we do the follow-up to this, like, okay, what's what should we cover? And we could maybe get a little half hour. Well, I guess the big thing is, for me, I like to kind of have things kind of organized and ready. Whenever you say, hey, what's new? And it's like, You know.
I know. I've been able to share very little of what's new. Hello, Sangaz. Sounds interesting. However, having lots of people around asking questions.
Yeah. What? Yeah. Well.
Hello.
Maybe that's what we try next month. Once we do the.
Oh, I'm hearing the whatchamacallit feedback. Gotcha. You might have another. No, left it.
Probably have the live stream going too in another tab.
Yeah, you can. I mean, if you come back in and you close the live stream that you're watching, then your audio will be totally cool. Anyway, so yes, having some kind of scheduled, prepared thing, especially if someone were organized enough to well, not really organized enough, more like extroverted enough to go and schedule things with people.
All right, we'll come up with something. We'll come up with something.
Yeah, my kind of like about the most organized I can get with other people these days is here's an org file on GitHub. Please edit it. Gotta get better than that, I guess. Okay.
I don't know. I think it's just fine.
Yeah, we're still waiting, by the way, for people who are listening, of whom there are now 5 people watching this. This is the backup hangout for the Emacs conference, which is actually happening in person, but the live stream hasn't hooked up yet. So if you would like to join us and chat about Emacs while waiting for things to happen, the join link is on the event page and various other places. You've seen the watch link as well. Anyone is free to join. Except maybe weird dancing anonymous people who are not related to Emacs. Yeah, the real life conference will eventually get sorted out, and then we can go watch all the cool stuff that they've lined up, including Howard, who is lined up as one of the speakers. So. Yes.
Oh, I forgot to mute myself when I was typing that comment.
No. It was okay. It wasn't a lot. Anyway, Howard said in IRC, fantastic chaos, conference completely done by geeks. What would you expect? Yeah, which is totally okay. I mean, Emacs is the sort of editor where you have a gazillion ways of doing things because people are like, wouldn't it be cool if? And it happens. Okay.
So do you have something new you've been working on lately, since we're just chatting here in the hall?
Well, let's see. What have I been playing around with in my Emacs configuration? Little things like I got it to show me my missing, which days I haven't drawn journal entries for. So basically I draw the rough equivalent of an index card each day, just summarizing the very few things I managed to get done that day. But it's nice because then as part of my weekly review, I can go back and look at the different things that I managed to accomplish. And it's amazing to see how things pile up. So it's like the way that if you keep your to-do list in org, you can use log mode to see all of your completed to-do lists for the time span. And it's like, wow, actually, even if you feel like you're not doing much, they do add up nicely. I've been drawing these instead of just relying on my to-do list, so I can capture all the other things that happen that aren't on my to-do list, like doing laundry or the things I do away from my computer. And so they're all in files that are named, year, month, day, and a character. But they're all like they all have a certain file name convention, the day of the week, a hashtag journal or whatever. And I have a little bit of Emacs Lisp code that goes that uses org read date to ask me for how long ago do I want to start from, and shows me which days I haven't drawn a journal entry for yet, because you can do that with a little bit of code to loop over the dates and some file name checking, and then it just sets everything up for you.
You really should record yourself showing that off.
Yeah, I probably should. It's very idiosyncratic. I mean, I don't really know anyone else who do that.
Of course. But being able to see that in person and then attempting to steal some of the code.
Okay, actually, while we're waiting for people to either join this emergency hangout session or waiting for the in-person conference to come back online, I'll quickly demonstrate this thing. Okay, so the idea here is you have my show missing journal entries command, and maybe I should change the size here. Hang on a second, let me zoom in.
Yeah, just a little.
Okay, so that's slightly better. Okay. So my show missing journal entries, what it does is it takes a date using org read date. And the thing I love about org read date is that you can easily specify relative dates. So you can say, for example, -7 for 7 days ago, which is actually the same as 1 week. Or you can say, from like 2 Tuesdays ago, and it does the right thing. It says this is like, 8:18. So
Didn't realize that.
yeah, you can even say like -1M from last month. It's crazy. Org read date is super flexible, possibly also because we had the same kind of flexibility in specifying dates from Planner. And then I was like, you know what org read date really needs is just copy and paste all the Planner stuff into it and add more. So anyway, so I can say -7 for 7 days ago.
Yeah.
And what it does is it goes through the dates since, in this case, August 22, and it looks for anything that doesn't have a file matching a certain pattern. And then it displays these using the Emacs widget library, which gives me buttons that I can click on or press enter on. But the nifty thing about using Emacs widget library is usually when I'm doing this, I switch to tablet mode so I can draw on my screen. And I can just tap on it with my stylus, and it will open this, this file that's already appropriately sized and named and all of that stuff. And I've set it also because I track my time using a combination of this Rails web application I built, plus also a little bit of Emacs code to, make it updating it even easier when I'm in Emacs. It will show me the time logs for that day.
Okay, shrink the text down just a little bit. Okay,
okay, sorry. Hang on a second.
Okay, so the 27th and 28th are the ones you have entries on.
No, these were the ones that I don't have entries on. So
you don't have entries, and you have them on the other ones. Got it. Okay.
Right, exactly. So it shows me that in general, I've been pretty good about keeping my journal, but sometimes I'll let a couple of days back and then I'll backfill it.
Sure.
And this way, I don't have to just keep checking where it is. Okay, so no news yet on the Emacs Conf channel. I will keep prattling along.
Okay, so I'm going to ask a question. So I've been doing something similar, but I've been using the actual calendar. So when I do just MetaX calendar, all the journals show up with a little color on those, and then I can see which ones I've missed. But I like yours a lot. That's not a bad idea.
Yeah, so the way that this one works here, and I'll walk through the code pretty quickly while waiting for other things to happen with a real life conference once it gets going, is I've got this function that gets the missing journal dates, and all it does, is it takes a start date using org time string to absolute that converts an org time string like -1 or actually no, it takes a year dash month dash day, and it converts it into the number of days since a certain point in time. So it allows you to do dates around math around dates, and then just loops over that. And it uses this thing, my get journal entry, that just looks in a certain number of directories for a file that matches a certain file name pattern. But the other thing I like about this here is, so this my draw journal entry over here, what it does is it takes a date, it opens a file if it already exists, or if it doesn't exist yet, it opens my time records for that date, and then it creates this image for me that I can then draw in. So that's kind of the weird combinations you can come up with when you've got Emacs Lisp and you use other applications. So yeah, see what's going on here.
Very good.
Okay, so Emacs Conf. So Chris and RP Dylan, they're like, there's stuff happening. Does that mean things are happening in person? Yeah. So okay, so I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and people can get back to watching me quietly freak out while waiting for things to happen. But This is not actually the first Emacs conference ever. Apparently, this is the third. They've been run very sporadically. One was like ages and ages ago. The other one was in 2013. But yeah, here we are. Yeah. Okay. So people are joining the Emacs Conf channel. This is very promising and exciting, and still waiting for the live stream to kick in. Double checking. Nope, Twitch is still offline, I think. Chris says that a Boston Emacs conference is in the works, which makes me very excited because it'd be great to have these on a regular basis so that people can share interesting, cool stuff that they've been working on that's nice to demonstrate, and sometimes a little harder if you're just recording a video by yourself. It's like screencasts versus people actually asking questions and going, "Ooh, that's so cool," and an occasional looking over someone else's shoulder and going, "How the heck did you do that?" sort of thing.
Yes, it would be great, but yeah, virtual. That makes it so I can attend all of them.
I know, right? I'm definitely not really in the traveling sort of thing. So virtual conferences, or at least conferences that are recorded at the very minimum, and then live stream would be the next step up, and then a more virtual conference where you can have the questions and the presentations. You know, the virtual people are first class citizens, etc. Would be lovely. But technology will get there someday. I don't think it's quite as awesome yet as we would like. Have you attended any virtual conferences that worked out really nicely?
No.
Okay, well, we'll figure it out eventually, I'm sure.
I was going to say, I've they always have technical glitches.
I still remember the one Emacs Hangout we had where apparently I guess there was this like weird technical issue with Google servers, and I ended up like in a parallel universe where I was talking to myself for 20 minutes before I gave up and I refreshed the screen, and then suddenly everything, I joined the universe where everyone else was talking.
Yes, that was a weird thing to watch the recording afterwards, since we were all chatting away. It's like, oh, I guess Sasha wasn't going to join her own channel. Okay, fine.
I was very embarrassed, but however, that was still much better than the very awkward brain dump of random Emacs tips that I was doing in the it was you know what it's like to organize a party and then think no one else is showing up.
Yeah.
I always get that feeling actually with Emacs chats and Emacs Hangouts. Sorry, for the 9 viewers who are watching, we're still waiting for the live stream to come on. You can actually join us in chat, and so it doesn't feel like Howard and I are totally just filling in the silence with awkward conversations. But anyway, yes, which is why I tend to prefer knowing that at least one other person is going to be there for any hangout.
Exactly.
Yeah. There's those moments when you're thinking, oh no, did I get the date wrong? Did I get the time wrong? Maybe everyone's converted to Vim.
Yeah, that's only happened about 4 times for me as well.
Yeah.
Show up an hour later or an hour early.
But it would be nice to have something like, whether it's a full day of wonderful Emacs programming and a lot of buzz, or whether it's even just kind of having each of the talks spread out so that you'd have the equivalent of a 30-minute presentation and on with the rest of it. Look, let me just post an update in IRC. Live stream come back up if you're remote and waiting. So next hangout. I come back up, I mean. Okay, all right. We are nothing if not flexible. Okay, so people are actually on IRC watching the backup stream, but just not coming in hanging out because they didn't sound like shyness, etc., etc. So,
Too embarrassing, obviously.
well, Howard, thank you for being willing to embarrass yourself with me.
It's the best I can do. Or the least I can do, or whatever that is.
Okay, Summer says he's setting up the live stream now, which is very exciting. We will post the live stream information once that's up in all the usual places. No problem. Thanks for. So we'll confirm that the live stream works first, and then switch everyone over. If as things go, so, if it turns out that things completely mess up, or whatever, then Howard can always do his presentation, and I don't know, we can play around with Emacs some more, or people can join us and see what's going on. Anyway, so Summer is working on stuff, and he will get things sorted out, and there will be a live stream.
Yeah, you ever wonder about those radio personalities that when they have dead air, they can just talk, and it's far more interesting than what I could come up with? You're doing a pretty good job. So, if this career of yours in computers don't work, you can always go back to radio.
This is always, this is nervous babbling at some point. If I were really prepared, then I would have a list of interesting Emacs tips that I've harvested from Emacs Reddit and Planet Emacs and other awesome places for random Emacs things. Speaking of which, there are a lot of good things out there. So if you aren't reading, say, the Emacs Stack Exchange or Emacs Reddit or other places like that, you're missing out on those completely random things that you didn't even know you didn't know.
Okay, so here's a question for you. On the latest Ergo Emacs posting, it was about running Emacs scripts from the command line.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know if you noticed that. So the idea is that from the command line, you can kick off Emacs, and the options are like batch and this sort of thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so how often would you think you do things from the terminal to kick off things to Emacs, as opposed to just being already in Emacs and running it?
My environment sucks because I'm in Windows, but I imagine that it's a sort of thing that might be interesting if you've got shell scripts that call out and do stuff.
I've written a few of those kind of scripts, and then I just convert them to Emacs, ELIS, because that's just a lot nicer to write than a shell script, right?
Interesting. Hang on a second. People are.
Yeah, somebody's trying to join.
Yeah. Okay. Hello.
Try it again.
Hi. All right. That seems to have worked so far. Yep. You're in. Oh, you left again. Not kicking anyone. We haven't.
What's going on?
So read packages. Oh, hello. Does this work? Oh, something. Hey, the live stream. The live stream is on. Okay. All right. Hang on a second. Which of these windows? Okay. All right. Okay. I am going to post the information. It's for people who are listening and can't hear it. It's twitch.tv/emacsconf. And I will go switch over to watch at comments there or on Freenode. Net Emacs Conf. Yeah, I hear you. Okay, so I'm going to wrap this up because otherwise I'm going to be very confused with the audio. I have posted the links on one of the events. I will go find the other one and I will post it on Twitter shortly. See you all in the IRC channel or in the Twitch TV comments.
Hello, can I good night? This is still live. So, hello, you guys.
Okay, so it turns out the broadcast doesn't stop automatically. If I close my window, I will stop the broadcast now, and you can all watch over at Twitch TV, twitch.tv/EmacsConf.